Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. I am working through the electrical grid on the new 16X map. It'll probably take me like 2 days just to get the electrical grid and the power grid in. I will stream as long as the Wi-Fi will hold out, which has been really, really crappy because we have a lot of ice here. And all the schools are pretty much distance learning, so the Wi-Fi has been crap. And I don't have a lot of time today either, so I will go as long as I can before I need to get out of here. I'm just going to put a bunch of these in and then work my way backwards and get them all right where I need them. There's no fun and easy way to go around these corners. Just get them where I want them and then go back and fix them. Alright, so let's get this one in first. That's almost right where it needs to be. Look at that. It never falls into place that easy. You will just make a little bit longer. And we're going to have to try and turn it just a hair. I can live with that. Let me go 0.9. Let's go 0.8. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that one's in place. And then let's go back and fix this one. Alright, so you are just a little bit shorter, so let's go 0.9. There we go. And then this one we will turn. Just give it a slight. And then I'll just go this way. Let's go 0.4. There we go. So we got power lines over the road. I don't like that. Well, I guess it should be right. Now, how are our lights? So my lights, so you're facing the road. Turn you a little bit. Yeah, so let's turn you a little bit. Like that, that works. Then you should be facing that way. And then you're my last one, so you can come up this way, and then we can just continue down. And then before I go any too much further, I want to get a couple of these in place so I know where I left off. These boxes are going to be for something I want to try. So right now they're just experimental, until I try something. I can't try something until we get the entire electrical grid in. So, but yeah, it's going to be another long and boring 2 days to get the rest of the electrical system in. So I only spent about an hour on it today, and then I had a bunch of errands to run. You know, we have a family function tonight, so I won't have any time to work on this today except for like 2 hours right now. And then hopefully, I don't plan on leaving the house tomorrow. I don't care if what the hell blows up or what the hell happens. I ain't leaving the house tomorrow. So it will be work on a couple new releases tomorrow morning and then on this map all day. I don't care what blows up. I don't care what catches on fire. I ain't leaving the damn house. Hopefully we could finish the electrical system tomorrow. I don't have any traffic loops over on this way. Billy Bob 64, hello. Thank you for taking time out of your day, stopping in and saying hello. But appreciate you stopping in. Unfortunately it's going to be 2 more boring days till we get the electrical system and the power grid in. And after we get the power grid in, then we're going to work on, I got to work on getting the map border done. And then once that's done, most of the major boring stuff will be done and we can start getting into the fun build. But it's a lot of click and drag and line up and click and drag and line up. But I haven't been on with the ice yesterday, I didn't even stream. I had the computer off most of the day in case we had a bunch of power surges. So I turned it off completely. Turned off the surge protector even completely and just completely powered down. But unfortunately, I apologize. It's going to be a lot of just zooming in, zooming out, and sliding and dragging. But it adds character to the map. And then if we add more roads, the majority of the electrical system will be done. So all we have to do is add power to whatever new roads we put in as we build. So we're going to make a few slight changes to the roads. I'm going to add a little bit to the road system. So even though we're getting the majority in today and tomorrow, we'll still be adding to it. But I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's been a lot of cold temperatures forecasted here in the States. We're even supposed to get some snow Sunday into Monday, and it rarely snows where I live. So it should be interesting. And I know my parents in the Poconos, Pennsylvania, they've been getting nailed all week with a bunch of nuisance storms. And then I think they have another major storm coming up, I think early week, like Monday or something like that. Oh, too far. Back you up. So unfortunately, I had to go to Walmart today, and that place was a madhouse. But I had no choice. I had a ride, so I didn't have to drive. But that place, and there was a few things I had to have, and that place was a nightmare. Just wall-to-wall people, every register full. It's like it was the end of the world. They're calling for some snow here. And trust me, I absolutely hate Walmart with passion. Go there only if I absolutely have to. And it's as a last resort. I'd rather go to the local grocery store where it's not as crowded and pay double than go to Walmart. Yeah, we still have railroad crossings to put in, so that's another project yet before we get too further along, is all the railroad crossings. So we get the electrical system done, we'll get electrical crossings done. Are you back? Yeah, you're far enough away from the tracks. Yeah, I wasn't even sure how the Wi-Fi was going to hold out today to even get a stream in. The only thing I did yesterday before I powered down was I got a few things into the map I needed for today, and then I finished the animal dealer. And we still have the high tension wires to put in yet at some point. Once we figure out where the sub power stations are going to go. No, it's not going to be like PV. I'm not running everything off a power grid. This is more for show. We will have a couple heating plants for hourly income, and that's where I'll run my high tension wires from. But no, we're not running our factories off the power system. That's just crazy. But I figure I'll get the outer loop done first because it's going to take the longest. Then we'll jump down and we'll work around the in the valley, and then at some point I got to run one strip up the mountain, or at least down towards where my animal dealer is. All right, where's the line? I can't even see it. Keep an eye on the time. I gotta go out and check on the washing machine here in about 20 minutes. But I figured since I didn't stream it all yesterday, I'd jump in for a little bit today, at least to say hello. Farm Chick, good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. Had to walk your 3 doggies in the ice. Yeah, ice everywhere, it seems like. You're not missing much. It's another one of those boring 2 days until we get the power grid in. But since I didn't stream it all yesterday, I wanted to pop in for a couple minutes today. And I can't stream long today. I got to be out here about 5 o'clock. And it's already like 3:10, so about 2 hours. So we'll see how far we get in about 2 hours. Now, did I put you in place? I did. So I do apologize. It's just a lot of clicking and dragging today. And we'll get into the fun stuff. Couple more boring projects. We got the electrical system to put in, and I got to get the entire map border done. And then once that's done, it's going to start getting fun. Now we can always add more roads and add to the power system as we go. And then there's a family function tonight. It's my nephew's birthday, my sister's son that I live with here, so we're gonna have everybody over tonight for a big dinner, so I definitely have to get out of here early. Alright, so how close are you to the bridge? So I'm gonna take you down to here. I'm gonna stretch that last line out a little bit to match this one. And then I'm going to take this one across the bridge and we'll stretch that wire out. And then we'll continue up to the corner from here. So now I can back up and get these wires to match. So let's go to 3. Nope, 3 is going to be too long. Let's go to 2.5. Right there. So that one's in. Then we take this one. And then this one's going to have to get stretched all the way across the water. So this one I'm just going to go to like 4, 8, not, hold on, 9, nope, 8 point, there we go. So that brings that one in. And then we continue this one to the corner. But yeah, tomorrow we'll get some couple releases done. It's all fun for me to watch it all come together. Well, thank you. Yeah, so tomorrow, so what did I send the Patreons last week? I sent them Budweiser and the Pizza Factory. So tomorrow I will release Budweiser and the Pizza Factory. And then I'll send them the homestead map update and probably another factory. I'm not sure what I'm going to send them yet. I'll make that decision tomorrow. And it may even be the homestead map update in 2 factories. I'm not sure yet. So a couple new factories to play with for the weekend. If everybody's snowed in, at least you can do some virtual farming. Can't go wrong with pizza and beer. Alright, and then from there we'll start going. I'll figure out how I want to go around the corner. So the first thing I want to do is I want to come back up here. Haven't seen snow yet. All we've gotten is ice. Yeah, it's been brutal here with ice. I think we've had more ice here than snow as well. These, what I'm calling boxes, are something that I want to experiment with after the entire electrical grid is done. But I need to put them in as I go. So I don't want to get into too much detail on it until I know if it's going to work or not. And that's not going to be for a couple days, so don't want to get anybody's hopes up on what it's for quite yet. But I need to put them in the same order as I'm putting the poles in. So it's almost like putting a double system in. Now they can't be connected to the pole. They have to be their own transform group. So I can't put them in at the same time. So this is what's slowing me down on the electrical system. Then even when I finish the electrical system, I can still come back in and add to it. As if we add more roads in, we can expand the electrical grid. But there's so much more room on this map compared to the islands map that I'm having a hard time with coming up with stuff to put in the map. So this map's going to end up with a ton of fields, a ton of grass meadows, and a ton of small forests. Uh, sorry, just checking on chat. I am caught up on chat. But yeah, so we're gonna have the entire family over for a birthday dinner tonight. So I'm just staying out of my sister's way in the kitchen today. She's doing making brownies. He doesn't like cake. So she's making birthday brownies and these like cottage cheese, not cottage cheese, cream cheese cupcakes. And she's doing homemade lasagna. So it should be a pretty decent dinner tonight. Yet I haven't even I only got like a half a strip of power poles on Center Mountain as well, so we got, unfortunately, like 2 days worth of power grid. And then I just realized there's no traffic on this side of the map at all, so I may have to put in another traffic spline. If I'm going to put that other traffic spline in, it's got to get done before I get too much further along. Once I start getting trees and a lot of stuff along the road, it's really hard to see to put the traffic splines in. So I think I have them all visible. I do. So we'll see. I'll sleep on it. So the first thing I may start with tomorrow is one more traffic spline that goes around the entire outside of the map. I'm making you hungry. Sorry, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of anything with red sauce, so it's unfortunately lasagna spaghetti is not that appetizing to me. My mom's 100% Italian. We grew up while my grandmother was still alive. We had Sunday dinner at her house with the family, like every single Sunday. Spaghetti, and then even during the week, my mom would make spaghetti one day, and then we'd have leftovers for 2 days. So as a kid growing up, it was like spaghetti 3 days a week. So I am not a fan of any kind of pasta now with red sauce. Now give me like a creamy Alfredo, and now we're talking, but I'm so sick of red sauce. down to this corner, I'm going to do a quick save, and then I'm going to go check on the washer. But I'm looking more forward to dessert than I am dinner. That's pretty sad. Yeah, my grandmother on the Ritchie side. So my grandmother, my grandfather, and my one uncle were born in Italy before they came to the United States. And then the rest of their kids, my mom, my aunts, and uncles were all born in the States. And growing up as a kid, my grandfather actually passed away before I was even born, so I never got to meet him. But my grandmother spoke, like, her primary language was Italian, and learned English, but it was very, very broken English. So she was like really hard to understand growing up. She would actually still talk to like her kids, my aunts and uncles, and my mom in Italian, and then she would talk to all the grandkids in like the broken English. And then the other thing I have to do with this map is I still have to get all the new fill types in here that I just added to the islands update. I want to stay on top of getting all the fill types and palettes and the HUDs and stuff in here, so I don't have this big mess to fix at the end when the map is finally ready. So I'll probably do that off camera as well, just to get all that stuff in the map. And then there's a couple new fill types I want to build just for this map that are going to be exclusive to this map that I still have to work on as well. Alright, I'm going to give this a quick save. While this is saving, I'm just going to throw y'all on be right back. I'm going to check on the washer. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I had to get the laundry from the washer into the dryer, or I'd completely forget about it, wake up tomorrow morning and go, oh crap, all my shit's in the washer wet. Alright, let's get around this corner. So you are going to go somewhere over that way. You're going to come up. This way. And then you're going to get turned again somewhere over this way. And then you're going to come over this way. And then we'll fix all these in a minute. And then you get duplicated again and you get turned that way. And that gets us around the corner. So now we start eliminating this double stuff that we don't need. So you can get deleted. And my extra light can get deleted. And then we take the one above it. This one. And then this goes a little bit further. Like so. And that lines that one up. And then we take these extra pieces and they get deleted. And this extra light gets deleted. And then the one above it, we stretch it out so it's a little bit longer. Like so. So it's lined up. And then we take the extra pieces that are going that way and we get rid of those. And then we get rid of the extra light. And then we fix these lights so they're nice and straight. So that one's facing the road. So you're done. You're hooked up and done. Alright, so let's spin this light. So it's facing the road, kind of, sort of. And then this one is facing the road, and then we continue down from this one. So we will continue down. And that's the easiest way I found to make the corner. Now before I go any further, I want to get these boxes back caught up, and then we'll run that stretch of power lines all the way down. So bring you down and over. And again, I'll go over what these are for on another stream, if it's even going to work to do with what I want. It may not even work, so. But they come out easier than they go in, because all I'm going to do is delete the entire transform group. So that'll be a project for another day. We'll do some experimenting. usually goes really good or goes really bad. Alright, so we can just continue down. It's one of those days where I've had my sweatshirt on, and then it gets hot and I sweatshirt off, and then the sweatshirt on, and sweatshirt off, and I just threw it back on. And now it's too hot, it's got to come back off. It's one of those days where I just can't get comfortable today. Even last night, I had a hard time sleeping last night, so I wasn't even going to work on the map or stream today. I almost just said to heck with it. But I wanted to get something done. I'd be laying in bed tonight going, damn, I didn't get a darn thing done today. Uh-oh. Sounded like someone was getting ready to knock on my door, I thought. Maybe it was my sister looking out the window. Make sure this is back far enough away from the intersection in case he put his roach going straight back, and it will be. Alright, so we're good. I hate when the pole line's like right in front of the T and I can't add on if I want to, but we'll be back far enough. We get down to this next corner, and then I only have to go about halfway back because that's where I started. And then I'll do a little bit of work on the top of the mountain, and then we'll work our way down the mountain into the valley. But yeah, like I said, I don't plan on leaving the house tomorrow. So I plan on, if the Wi-Fi holds out, the house should be relatively quiet. I plan on probably working on this map all day tomorrow. After I get some stuff released in the morning. And that's all off camera. So I'll upload stuff to Mega, get it to the Patreons, and then I'll get Trello updated, I'll get Mega updated, I'll get Facebook released. And then we'll come in here and finish the electrical system. And then probably work on I may put one more traffic spline in, and then we'll work on some railroad crossings so we can get some of that stuff done. And then probably the map border, or at least part of the map border. And I do want to add a couple more road sections in so we can have some railroad silos ready to go. So I do have to put a few more roads in to get those done. Do we have to adjust this one? No, you'll be back far enough if I have to take that road straight back. Alright. So I want to have plenty of just empty lots with silos on them, so it'll be like multiplayer friendly. So we're going to have to add a few staging lots and a couple railroad silos. There'll be plenty of places to set up your own farms. And then, all right, I'll make you hungry some more. And then on my dad's side of the family, I was very fortunate to grow up on a very small dead-end road in a very, very rural town in Pennsylvania, coal mining town. My grandfather actually worked in the coal mines. The coal mines were actually still in operation until I was about 8 years old, 8 or 9, somewhere in there. We actually lived on Railroad Street, and the coal trains ran right in front of our house as a kid because the mines were still in operation. And I was fortunate enough to live right next door to my dad's parents because they bought an empty lot next to my grandparents' house, and that's where my mom and dad built their home. And my grandparents' house was actually an old, what they called company home. It was actually an old coal house. Houses that the coal mines built for their workers. And then my grandparents were actually able to buy it after a while. So we grew up very close to them. And they were 100% Polish. So we grew up on, they were big like hunters, fishers, trappers. So we grew up on all the, they raised their own animals and butchered. So we grew up on all the like homemade sausage, kibasi, halushki, pierogi. So nothing went to waste. They grew up during the Depression. So there was always food. She was always cooking. A huge vegetable garden. There was like just 1,000 empty acres behind the house. So we lived in the woods. And to this day, they're still undeveloped. So right behind they're all past now. But where even my mom and dad doesn't have that house, my original house when I was a kid, any longer. But it's still undeveloped. So you go to where my grandparents' house was, and there's still like thousands of acres right behind their house. But yeah, we always got yelled at for playing on the railroad tracks. But we'd put like quarters down and nickels down and stuff, and just to watch them get flattened by the train. Alright, you're back far enough from the intersection. If I have to go straight back. So that's good. I don't have to move that telephone pole. Hey, we're almost to this corner. Then we only got to go about, make the turn and go about halfway back. And the outer loop will be done. Alright, so let me backtrack. We'll get my wooden boxes down. Italian is your favorite food? I grew up on so much Italian. I can do without it. I don't even like going to Italian restaurants. Now you have to remember, my mom is one of 16 children, so we grew up on Italian at least 3 to 4 days a week. Alright. These are easier to put in. They don't even have to be perfect. They just need to be around the pole. And don't ask me to name all 16 without paper and pencil. My entire life I couldn't name all 16 without paper and pencil. There's always one name I forget, and it takes me half an hour. Then I'll go, oh yeah, that's who I'm missing. But unfortunately, they're all way up in age now, so I think there's only either 10 or 11 out of the 16 still alive. I think it's 10. Let me think. Now you got me thinking. There were 9 boys and 7 girls. And let me think. So the aunts. So Aunt Jean and Aunt Mary are no longer with us. So there's 5 girls still alive, including my mom. And out of the 9 boys, see, Uncle Angelo's passed, Uncle Pete has passed, Uncle Jimmy has passed, Uncle Donald has passed. I think that's it. So I think there's 4 out of the 9 that have already passed. So would that make a 10? Yeah, 10 out of the 16 still living, I think. And up until like 2 years ago, they still had family reunion every single year. So every single year as a kid, we went to a family reunion. So and like that tradition and that was way before I was born. And that tradition, because they're all so up in age, that tradition ended like 2 years ago. 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And then I will stream at some point this weekend, but I'll definitely take time out to watch the Daytona 500, because if there are cars on the track, the TV's on. So I'll watch practice, I'll watch qualifying, I'll watch, you know, the race. That's a lot of kids, yeah. You know those big old Italian families. But yeah, I know the temperature is supposed to be like supposed to be like the coldest weather of the entire winter here. Um, this weekend and most the next week before it starts to warm back up. I mean, they're talking wind chills like 20 below zero here next week. So if the weather's really bad and the internet's really bad, you will not see me much at all next week, unfortunately. We get a lot of electrical, those nuisance outages where this shit goes out for like 5 minutes, comes back on. Which means it shuts my computer down. And if I'm in the middle of working on something and I don't have a recent save, I lose everything I was working on. So that's why you see me save like every 10 to 15 minutes. It's just out of habit. Yeah, I actually, before I powered down for the day, so I didn't have my computer on much at all yesterday, because with the ice I wasn't sure how the power lines were going to hold. But I actually laid in bed and played the Homestead map for about 3 or 4 hours yesterday, just to make sure there were no issues with the map update and all the new factories. Alright, we're getting close to the corner. I did find the, I know we talked about it on one of the previous streams, I can't remember when. I did find the converted Goldtress Valley map, because like I said, I loved the grass in FS17 that had those little like yellow and blue and purple flowers in it. But when the map was converted, unfortunately, they had to convert it to the 19 grass. So it doesn't even have the 17 version of the grass in it. It has the 19 version of the grass in it. So I couldn't even use the grass out of it that I liked. Alright, before we round this corner, I'm going to do a save. Glad I got to play my own map. Yeah, I don't do that. I definitely don't do that enough. But there's so much stuff on the drawing board, and I feel guilty for playing. I'd rather be building. I made it. Let me see if I can find my notebook. Did I write them? Oh, I didn't write them down. Or did I? Hang on. Oh, I don't remember where the page was. I actually had to go out and buy a new notebook today. But somewhere I made a list of all the factories I have to build just to get this map running. And I flipped my page back and I lost it. So I'm going to have to come back through and find it. But there's like 10 or 15 factories we have to build just to get this map working. Because I want it to be all placeable. Oh well, I'll flip through my notebook one of these days off camera and find it. Oh, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 15 factories I have to build just to get this factory running, just to get the things you need to run this map with, like Mammoth Mill and the concrete factory, dairy mill and stuff like that, orchards, greenhouses. They're all going to be placeable. So before we can even release this map, before we can even test this map, I'm going to have to build all the factories for it. All right, so you're going to be somewhere in here, but closer to the road. Actually, let me go back. No, I'll come back and move that one. So you're going to go about there. And then you're going to come over this way somewhere. And then you're going to come out this way. About here. And then you're going to come straight down that way. And I'm going to put one more in to make sure I'm back far enough away from the road. No, you're going to be too close. So you have to come out to about here. So that means I got to delete that one. You have to come out to about here. So I've got to delete that one. So you actually have to come out to about here. And then I can go back that way. And then let's see, now we duplicate that one more time. Yeah, so that's about right. Might be a little bit too far from the road, but that's all right. So now we got to work backwards and connect all these back together. All right, so so these extra pieces can get deleted. And then the one above it has to get turned. And made longer. You got to come back just a hair. And I hate moving these things. So which number are you? So you're my Y rotate. So you 0.6. 0.4. There we go. So that'll connect that one, and I'll come back and I'll fix the extra lights. So these I don't need, so they can get deleted. And then this one has to get turned. So the one above it, I got to turn and hook in. Come on, quit twitching. Right about, oh come on, I had it right there. And then it can go just a little bit shorter. Like that. So that connects those. So you've got one light facing the road. So we've got to get rid of an extra light in this one. So you get deleted and you get turned a little bit towards the road. So you're done. This one's a little bit further out than I want, but that's all right. So we'll get rid of this light. I wonder if I should pull that one back a little bit. No, that's all right. I can live with that. So you're connected, and then from you we'll continue to work around. Let me get my couple boxes in and we'll work our way down. I remember that grass, that's how I could tell it was ready to mow. Yeah, that's, I'm still going to see if I can. Unfortunately, when the laptop died and I have my new computer, I don't even have FarmSim 17 installed, and I don't have the 17 version, the older version of Giant's Editor installed any longer. So what I would have to do is I would actually have to reinstall FarmSim 17. I would have to reinstall the older version of Giant's Editor, and then I can go back into the 17 files and I can pull the grass out of that map if I want to. but I'm gonna have a lot of installing to do before I can even do that. But I can definitely pull the grass i3D out. I can pull the textures out, and then I would have to redo all my files in this map to actually make them work. It's about a couple hour process to get that grass in this map. It's not an easy convert. But yeah, that was my favorite grass. And I haven't found any 19 maps that have it in it for me to steal it out of. So I'm going to have to reinstall all that stuff just to get the grass out. So when they converted Goldcrest Valley from 17 to 19, I'm not sure why they didn't leave the 17 grass in it when they converted it. But they converted it over and it has the 19 grass in it. So if anybody knows of any maps that were converted from 17 to 19 and it has the old 17 grass in it, that has the little flowers in it, let me know, because it's actually easier for me to download that map and grab all the files than it is for me to put everything in that I re-download everything and reinstall everything on my computer. Because I can't even, unless I put the older version of Giants Editor in, I can't even open up any 17 i3Ds. I just have to go down to where we run into the railroad tracks, and then the outside loop on the electrical system will be done. Well, the outside loop of the electrical system. And I haven't really downloaded a lot of FS19 maps this year to even look to see what maps have that the older, the 17 grass in it. Hey, I can start seeing the railroad tracks. We don't got to go too much further. Now tying it in should be fun because I don't know how our spacing is going to turn out till we get down there. Right. Well, it's about 4:15. Hey, I've got to get out of here. I can only go for about another 45 minutes, and I'm going to have to get out of here. So I can help her get dinner finished and the table set with everybody coming over tonight. I'll try and get... Oh crap, I'm on the wrong side of the road. I forgot I was on the inside of the road. Alright, that's no big deal. We can cross the road. And actually that'll work out better anyway. So let me grab... Yeah, this one. Let me pull this one back. So about there. And then I can get... how do I actually... Let me take this one. I can stretch this one out a little bit further. And I can stretch those last wires out a little bit further. And then we can turn... I can turn it back into this one. So no big deal. So let me just start with this one. Let me get, let's go to like 2.5. Oh, that's not bad. So that, now we can get the whole thing spun. Like so. Oh, I had it. They're so hard. There we go. So that's like that. And then these, I can get rid of. So we'll come across the road there. And I'll come back and get rid of that extra light. And so the one before it, this one, yeah. So now that one we have to make longer. 2.6 right there, perfect. And then one of these extra lights has to go. So we're lined up here. Yep, we're lined up there. We're lined up here. We come across the road, and that ties us in all the way down. All right, so let me get my boxes in. Yeah, again, there's like no traffic on a couple spots on this map, so I'm almost positive I'm going to put one more traffic spline in yet. And then we're going to have to add one more run of electric from the center mountain to outer mountain on the upper level, and then we're going to have to run at least one, maybe two runs of electric from center mountain down to the valley. Move you guys out just a hair. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's something I want to experiment with. And I'll definitely show you on camera how I want to set it up, how to make it work. But not yet. We got a day or two yet before we can get to that. Get this row of boxes down to where we meet, and I'm going to do another quick save. And then I've got to get the BGA and field 1 fixed, because right now field 1 is spawning in halfway in the river. And I'll make a decision whether I want to do 1 BGA or 2. But on a 16x map, I'll probably do 2. Probably do 1 like in the valley and then 1 up here on the mountain somewhere. On the outer mountain. I know there's a lot of players who love doing silage with the BGA. So we'll definitely get 2 of them in here. Alright, so do you have... No, so you need 1 yet. That'll catch me up out here for now, till we add some more roads in. So let's stick you here. Alright, so that gets us our outside electrical power grid loop done. Let me do a quick save. And then we're going to have to do 1 more run of power from the center mountain out on the other side of the mountain. So I couldn't find a way to run the power along the road bridge, so I ran the power on the rail bridge coming across. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I want to we got to run the power across the rail bridge on the other side. And then I like it along the roads. I don't want to run it across the tracks. So I'll have the power running along the roads, and then I got somewhere here we're going to have to tee off and go north and south at some point. So let's here's actually where I started. I started right by the vehicle shop. That's the only part of the entire map that looks actually like a map. Alright, so you should be my very first pole. You are. So let's work our way back this way now. Just for a couple of them, and then we'll go across the train tracks. But at least the road will be covered with my power grid. One more and it'll curve, maybe one or two more will curve over. I should be able to get one more in. Yep, that should work. Now I'm working backwards from where I need to be, but that's all right. So let me go duplicate you and face you in that direction. And then let me pull my first one back. And then we'll clean up all the extra bits and pieces later. But that gets me closer to where I want to be. Or do I want to come back one more and then go straight over? Hang on, let me experiment with something a second. So let me duplicate you again. So where does that put you? That puts you on the other side of the bridge, which I can work with. I think we're going to leave it here now. When I come across the bridge, let me go check on something. Let me see where the closest pole is, to the left or to the right. We'll come straight out here along the tracks and we'll tie in. Oh, perfect, it's on that side of the track. So we're going to leave it on that side. So when we come across, it'll tie into the electrical grid. So there. And then we're going to have, how's my spacing? My spacing is about perfect. So let me come back a little bit more. And then I want to duplicate that again and turn it this way to -90. And I'll get rid of the extra pieces later. And then we're going to duplicate it. We're going to come across here. Go to this one. And then I'll adjust the wires from there. So let's clean ourselves up coming back. So you're good coming back this way. And then here's where it starts to get squirrely. Alright, so you those can get deleted. So that ties us in there, and we just got to get rid of the extra light. So that ties us in there. So now we come across here. We're good. But this one has to be made now a little bit longer. Well, I had it and lost it. There we go. So you have to be made a little bit longer. Like so, and then I don't need the light in this pole at all, so that can get deleted. So that brings us over to here, and so this set can get deleted, and then the one going that way has to go a little bit shorter. Like so, and then we'll get rid of this light, and then I'll swing this light. So this light will get turned this way, and we'll have light for the train running across the bridge. So that ties us in there. You have a light. You have a light. Alright, so now let me get my boxes in down to the bridge, and then we'll go across the bridge. And then you don't need one. Alright, so that gets us to here. So you can start coming across the bridge. And if I remember correctly, if I pull this back a hair, and I take you to 2.1, the spacing is perfect from pole to pole. And we'll just run you across the bridge. Alright, nothing new in chat. So I am good there. So these are just lining up with the platform, and the electric just ties itself in. I know I have them going across on the other side, but if I didn't put them on this side, to me the map would feel unfinished. So I know I really don't need these, but it'd bother me if I don't put them in. Alright, so now you just got to get it lined up with this one. And we go. Oh, all my street lights are facing the wrong way. I did. Damn it. I gotta go back now and turn every one of these lights. I didn't realize they were facing out. Did not realize that, so let me go back and fix all these lights. Rather than yanking all the poles out and putting them back in. Hate when they do shit like that. So I hate doing double work. Drives me nuts. I'm wondering, no, I'm going to have to turn everyone manually. Unless I just go 0, 0, 0. So yeah, we should be able to go 0, 0. Yeah, that's easier. So next one, we go 0, 0. Yeah, stuff like this, I piss myself off because I hate doing double work. That's right, on the Ridgeville map, I put 6 fences in. It took me 2 days, and I forgot to put the collisions on the fence. So instead of ripping the entire fence out and rebuilding them, I had to go into every single transform group, and I had to turn the collision on for every single fence railing and every single fence post. And it took me another 2 days just to fix all the collisions on the fence. Only a few more to fix. And then, so you've got to get turned. And then you've got to get turned. Alright, so that gets us back to where we need to be. So now we can bring this out and try and get it lined up with the road. And I'm just going to leave the road, instead of taking it out to the road and going straight back, I'm just going to take it straight back and tie it into the electrical grid that way. Go. Now I think I want to take, it's going to be easier for me to take this one. Yeah, and then I want to duplicate it and spin it and then tie it in that way than it is for me to take this one up and try and match up the poles. So we'll spin you, we'll make you longer and then we'll get you in place. So let's go like 2.5, no, let's just go to 3, there we go. And then I'll get you, so you should go to 0. Now you're going to have to go minus a little bit, so let's go minus 0.02, no, there we go. So it's minus 0.1. There we go. So that's going to tie that in. Good. So now I just need, so let's go down to this last box we put in. And that's going to tie in our center mountain to our outer mountain. And I'm just going to go grab some height. And let's just get you drug over. So I drag it over, I'm at the right height. I don't have to adjust the height of the box. And there is a purpose for these, and we'll reveal that another day. I've got about 20 minutes or so and I'm going to have to get out of here for the night. But I'm pleased with how much of the electrical system we actually got done today. I know it doesn't look like much, but to me that's a lot, considering the kind of night I had and the errands that I had to get done today. Alright, so that ties that in. And now we do not have to go over the bridge going north and south, but we will run some electric. Eventually I'll run it like along this road and end at the bridge. So why don't we get that in now so it's done. We can end it at the bridge there, and then we can do the same thing here. I'll take this pole and then we'll run it straight back, and actually we're going to have to go down the mountain at some point. Both directions we'll have to go down the mountain at some point. So let's work on that a little bit before I have to get out of here. And then tomorrow we'll have to get an electric pole running along the road down the mountain, which will tie in with this road, and we'll get this loop done. And then we'll have to get the loop that runs along this road done. So a lot of electric grid to get done yet tomorrow. Alright, so you, which direction do I want to go? So you are going to be next, our next victim. So you are going that way. Actually, that works out better. So let's duplicate you. Let's go this way. And then I'll adjust it in a minute, and we'll get rid of the extra parts and pieces. And then we'll take you back to about where I want you space-wise from the road. So let's go a little bit closer, and then you can actually go to 0, so you're pointing straight out. Now this one, the prior one, let's make you a little bit longer. So let's go like 2 point. I know you're longer than I need, but now I can get you and swung around, get you in place, and then make you a little bit shorter. So that ties that one in. Now I know got an extra light over here to get rid of. So you can go. So that gets us down to here. So this one, yep, nice and square. So you can come back this way. And now we can work our way down the mountain. Well, over to the road going down the mountain. And you here for now, and going down the mountain is a pain in the butt, but I want to get, so you are which one? You are this one, so let's duplicate that. Instead, I've got to keep these in the same order as I'm putting in the poles. And do I have a double light in the pole? No, we're good. So we'll take you over to the mountain. Now we'll work our way down the mountain tomorrow. Just come forward a little bit. All right. So I think eventually up here we're going to have a couple more roads that run across from here to the road going across the bridge. So eventually we're going to have to cut a hole here and make a couple of T's going across. And then we'll have to join the power lines going across. As soon as I figure out how I want to build the rest of the city up here. Alright, so that gets us there. Let's go over here and go back to the bridge. So which one do I want to duplicate? This one. So let's take you. Oh, which is my very first pole. Look at that. Let me duplicate you, and let's turn you again. Let's go that way. And somewhere about there. And we'll come back and get rid of the extra parts and pieces. So to figure out where this pole is going to go. Somewhere about here. And then actually it can go to 0. And then I can spin the street light this way. So that gets our light pointing in back, going back to the bridge. And then come over here, and we have to take out the extra light. And then I have to make it a little bit longer to reach this pole. So which one are you? Are you this one? No, you're the one above it. So you, yes, have to go a little bit longer. Like that. So that ties that one in. Then we take, yep, this one, and we'll work it back towards the bridge. Now, a good thing about this is we don't have to run this power. We do not have to run this power out across the bridge, but I just want to get it to the bridge and end. So I'm actually going to take, and I'm going to, so you are there. So I'm going to duplicate it one more time. I'm going to end it about there, and then I can get rid of the wires going back, and then we take the one that's previous to it, this one, and I shorten the wires up so it's just touching this pole like that. So that's where we're going to end our electric, going that direction. So that's that road done. So that road's done. Let me take these boxes and slide them back. So we get that part done. And yeah, I'm going to go about 10 more minutes and I'm going to get out of here for the night. So we bring you back. And I got to help her finish dinner and clean up and get table set. Get some extra chairs out. And then let me put one back here as well. Alright, so that fixes that road going back. So we got our electric running across that way. So now we need, we got to run back this way. We're going to go to the bridge, and then we're going to Y off and then go down the mountain. So you are facing which way? You're that one. You are alright, so let me do this. Let's duplicate you. Let me spin you this way to 0 and then bring you out this way. Now, unfortunately, how far away from the road? No, we got to get you closer to the road. So you got to come in to about here, and then you got to get turned and tie back in. So we got to turn you. Oh, come on. 6 point. Like that. And then this one's got to go a little bit longer. So you're tied in. Alright, so that ties that one in. So now I go up here. Yep. So now we go here, duplicate it, and let me just turn it back slightly to 0. And then we drag you back. But I got to take that one that I made longer, and it's got to go back to just 1 so they're even. And this will take us back to the bridge. Going in this direction. And then we'll branch off and go down the mountain on that road. And that's actually going to work out perfect because I'm going to leave it right there. And we're going to make it a little bit shorter. So let's go 1.8 like that. So that ties that one in going back to the bridge. And I want to get, let's get our boxes back in so I don't lose track of where I'm at. Back to the bridge. And then I'm going to save and get out of here for the night, and I will see everybody tomorrow. I plan on, hopefully if the Wi-Fi allows, I plan on streaming quite a bit tomorrow. We should be able to finish the electrical system tomorrow, and I want to try and get some of the railroad crossings done. And then work on the map border. And that's going to be the last pain in the butt, time-consuming project. I don't need one back here, but I'm going to throw one in later. I can always remove it. But you're going to go there. Alright, I'm going to do a save. I'm going to throw you all on ending. While this is saving, I appreciate everybody stopping in, saying hello. Hillbilly359, hello. Thank you for stopping in, saying hello. Unfortunately, I've got a family function tonight, so I have to get out of here. So we will definitely plan on doing, like I said, I don't have to leave the house tomorrow, so I plan on streaming as much as I can tomorrow. We'll finish the electrical system, we'll get some of the railroad crossings in, and then work on the map border. But again, I appreciate everybody taking their time out of their day, stopping in, saying hello. Y'all have a good night, and I will catch everybody tomorrow.